Alright, the second worksheet from 7.1, this is the second worksheet, is basic scatter plots and again trend lines. So looking at the first one, it says graph the scatter plot using the given data. Just take these and we'll plot them right over here. 1988 and about 36%. So here's 1988 and about 36% might be around there. 1992 and 43. 1992 and 43, maybe a little bit higher. 1996 and 32, so it's coming down a little bit. 23rd, they go by tens. I wish this was a little bit bigger graph. 2032 as well. They got to be about the same height. And then 2004 up to about 42. So maybe right about there. Okay. So it looks like a pretty steady line going across. Alright, number 2. A positive, negative, or none to describe the correlation of each scatter plot. So the numbers are going, if I drew a line, it'd be coming down. That's negative. Okay. Looks like this one's all over the place. Okay. No positive, no negative, so that would be none, what they call no correlation. Okay. And number 4. Identify the correlation you would expect to see between the number of pets a person has and the number of times they go to the pet store. So I'm guessing the more pets, the more trips to the store, so they both tend to go up. So that would be positive. Alright, next one, number 5. We're going to graph the scatter plot, draw a trend line, describe the correlation, and based on the trend line you drew, predict the amount of time it will take Neil to assemble 12 sandwiches. So we get all those questions with this graph that we'll make. Alright, so the number of sandwiches, looks like this is down here on the x-axis. The minutes, time in minutes, that would be on the y-axis. So make sure you label those so we know we have that all set. So the first one is 1 and 3, over 1 and up to about 3. So right about there. The next one is over 2 and up 4. So over 2, up 4. The next one, 4, 5. So over 4 and up to about 5. So right about there maybe. The next one is 6, 6. So again, this is a graph and it's estimated. And then 7, 7. Right about, so straight up, 7, 7. Okay. So I got the graphs done. Draw a trend line. Oh boy, trend line just by hand here. Maybe right about like that. Okay. So there's a rough trend line. Trying to make it, if you want to use a ruler, you could use a ruler too. Describe the correlation. Since it goes up to the right, it would be positive. And then the next question is, based on this, how much time will it take to assemble 12 sandwiches? So I go to sandwiches, 12, and I do my best to draw a line straight to my trend line without trying to curve it over. And then we want to take this trend line straight across, and so right about there. So 8, you see 2, you see 4 or 6, 8, 10, 10 to 11, that would be my guess. So since it's over 10, I'm going to guess at around 11 would be an answer. Okay, right around 11, and that would be in minutes. So make sure you clarify minutes. Okay. See if there's a back side to this one. And yes, there is a back side. So let's finish off the back side as well. We're going to graph the scatter plot using the data. Okay, weeks on my x-axis. Words per minute on the y-axis. Now let's graph it. 1 and 220, over 1 and up to about 220. 2 and 230. 3 and 260. 4 and 260, so there's a tie there. 5 and 280, 5 and up to about 280, right about there. Okay, so there I have it. Nothing else, I just wanted me to graph it. Describe the trend line. Again, looks like the numbers are heading in the upward direction. So again, I would say positive. So I drew the trend line, and then, ooh, I better make it longer. So make my trend line a little longer because I got to predict after 8 weeks where would I be. So weeks is here, go right up to 8. It hits my trend line right about here, and then take this over in about maybe between 320 and 340. So I would estimate about 330 words per minute. Okay. And number 4, Fawn is paying for this class each week out of her savings account. Identify the correlation between the number of classes and Fawn's account balance. Oh, that's just a separate equation, not based on this. Okay, so she's paying for her class each week between the number of classes and Fawn's account. So more classes, the account balance is going down. So as she adds classes, the account balance is going down. So think about it this way: if I have a graph, my account and the number of classes goes up, the balance in the account is going to go down. The more classes, the less I have. So as one goes up, the other goes down. So real high, don't have much. Then I have much. There we go. So my trend line will look like this. Again, going down, we have a negative account balance. Okay. All right, number 5. The distance a person runs and how physically tired the person is. This is a graph 1, 2, 3, or 4. So the more I run, the more tired I get. So let's see here. As this goes up, let's see. What do you think? It's a tough question here, right? So as this goes up, I'm going to get really tired, so they're both going to go up. I'm guessing it's going to be number 3. Okay. So if I'm here, don't run very much, I'm not very tired. The more I run, the more tired I get. Okay, number 3. The price of a new car and the number of hours in a day. Well, that's pretty consistent because the number of hours in a day usually stays the same. So I'm guessing it's going to be graph number 4. The price of a new car, and that stays the same all the way through. Let's see. Number 7, the person's age and amount of broccoli the person eats. I don't see much correlation between those two, so maybe a no correlation, graph number 2. Okay. And the last one, the number of cats in a barn and the number of mice in a barn. So let's see. I only have one left, so cats are high, mice are low. And if I only have a few cats, the mice are high. So that would have to be graph number 1. Alright, so there we go. So that handout is all done.